Mr. Robinson, tell me about the call that came in yesterday and how you responded.
Yesterday, our office manager received a call from a lady at 115 Garrett Street stating that there was a stray black lab in her swimming pool, and it was struggling. So I took the call. I responded. When I pulled up in the driveway on Garrett Street, the lady informed me that it was 2 dogs, that she had not seen the other one because it was struggling to hold on to the side of the pool. The dogs couldn't pull themselves out. When I looked, I saw that the lady had a covering over her pool for the winter time, and all the leaf litter and so forth had gathered on the cover, and these 2 dogs, stray, had come into her yard, and when they walked onto the cover, it collapsed, putting them in the pool. There was she had an 8-foot end and a 4-foot end. At the 4-foot end, it was actually probably about 3 feet deep. So if these dogs were standing on the bottom, they couldn't keep their head above water. And the black lab, the larger of the 2, he had his feet out on the concrete, and he was strong enough to hold himself up. Well, the yellow female lab, she was clawed on to the side of the lining of the pool, and she was completely exhausted. The water was, I'm guessing, probably about 45 degrees. It was cold. And I said, yeah, these dogs need to get out of here, and they can't get out by themselves. We tried putting the ladder on. They wouldn't respond to that. So we took the ladder off. I removed my radio and all my pocket contents, and I took my outer shirt off because I knew I was about to get wet. I walked up to the black lab, and at first, saw how receptive they were to people, so they were friendly. I laid down on my stomach and grabbed the black lab by the back of the neck, right in front of his shoulders, and he started trying to pull himself out, and I assisted him and reached down. I only got wet probably up to my shoulders, and I got him out of the pool, and then I went to the female lab, and she was a little more difficult because she didn't have any strength. She had gotten so cold it zapped all her strength just trying to hold on. And I actually laid over into the pool and wrapped my arms around her legs and completely pulled her out of the pool. Well, once she got out, the black lab, he shook off and went walking around the yard. The female, she was exhausted. She walked into the grass and laid down. Then the lady thanked me for getting them out of her pool. She was a little upset because there was some damage to her pool covering and so forth. But I checked the dogs over. They were good and healthy. They're well-maintained dogs. And my first thought was that they belonged to somebody that had just gotten out. So I loaded the dogs up in my truck. Luckily, the female, I had to pick her up and put her in the dog box. She's about 60 pounds. The black lab, the male, he's over 100 pounds. And I'm praying all the way to the truck that, man, I hope he can jump up on the tailgate of my truck. And that's actually what happened. When I got there, I hit the tailgate of my truck, and he jumped up on my truck and went into the dog box, and I brought them both out here. And they'll be held here for, our procedures are for 6 days to allow the owner of the dog to see them on Facebook, Instagram. We have volunteers that come out here and they take pictures of these dogs and they post them, giving the owners opportunities to come out here and recover their dogs. So it's the same case with these 2 that got here yesterday. 6 work days, we don't count the weekends. 6 work days after that, they're available for adoption. And with these 2 dogs especially, if their owners don't come and get them, they'll be adopted extremely quickly. As a matter of fact, I've got 2 people that are interested in both of them right now. but I can't do that. I have to give the owners of the dogs the opportunity to recover their pets.
I believe you mentioned that one of them might have some hunting experience or at least experience.
The black
with
lab itself, when I'm an avid outdoorsman, I love animals, always have, and I've taken labs. I've got a black lab at home, duck hunting. When they get out of the boat or off their little chair, and when they come to get back on it, it's just like the pool. They can get their legs up there, but they can't bring themselves up out of the water. But if you put your hand behind their neck, they'll brace themselves against it, and that gives them the leverage to come up out of the water. And that's exactly what he did in the swimming pool. When I put my hand on his neck, I could feel him pushing back against it. I'm like, oh yeah, he can, a little bit of help, he can come up out of here. And that's exactly what he did. And then when I hit the tailgate of my truck and he loaded up and went straight in the box, I'm like, this dog has been trained, he's hunted, somebody belongs to somebody. So my main concern is finding the owners to the dog.
Right.
Next, if the owners haven't claimed them within the 6-day time period, my main concern at that point is getting them adopted to a good home, which in the case of these two dogs, I don't see a problem whatsoever.
Okay. Now, it's unusual to have to get in the water and help a dog out.
Oh, absolutely.
But this is what you do every day, is saving animals.
And that's there's a misconception with the public, and I've had it said to me on many occasions by the public that they don't want their animals coming out here. They don't call for us to come and pick up dogs because they're afraid we're going to, quote unquote, kill their dogs. And anytime they say that, number one, I ask them where they get that information from, because that by no means is the goal of animal control. And then I ask them, invite them to come out and see the place. When I first started here, a little over 2 years ago, I started trying to keep up with the adoption rate, and we have probably close to a 55% adoption rate. And I know that doesn't sound great, but if you compare that to other shelters and kennels, it's above average. And we do everything that we possibly can to save dogs, take care of dogs, rescue them from abusive families. We get a lot of calls on dogs that are chained to a tree with no food, water, or shelter. And those people are given tickets. If they don't comply after that, the animals are taken from them. And it's for the benefit of the animals. So our goal is to control the stray and feral animals in the city of Sumter. However, we also take care of those animals. We don't just arbitrarily euthanize any animal at all. Unfortunately, there are cases with certain breeds of dogs that the owners have raised to be vicious, and in those cases then we have to do what it takes to protect the citizens of Sumter.
Okay.
And if that's having to euthanize an animal, unfortunately, that's what we have to do. But the safety of the citizens of Sumter is going to come first. But the safety and care of the animals also is a main concern, right equal with that.
Okay. Talk a minute about the volunteers.
We have 2 ladies that come out here. They are both citizens of Sumter. Their husbands are doctors, very prominent doctors in Sumter. These ladies give of their personal time. They come out here anywhere from 2 to 4 times a week. They walk every dog that we have in the kennel that is not vicious. They give them treats. They coordinate with organizations from New York to Florida that would be willing to rescue and or adopt these animals. And they're the reason that our adoption rate is so high. And I have to give all that credit to them. I'm thankful that they're here, or the adoption rate wouldn't be as high as it is. The first place to go if you've lost an animal or you're looking for an animal to adopt. Go to social media, Instagram or Facebook, and contact them. Or you can call us here at Sumter Animal Control. It's area code 803-436-2066. And we would be glad to have you come out and we'll walk you through the kennel to see what we have available.
Okay, thank you. Let's go see the babies.
Okay.